Okay, looks like we're here. So it is Monday and we have more dead MacBooks to fix. It is actually really busy, unexpectedly with the current world events, but we will fix MacBooks. So we have a few estimates to get through and call people, so we're going to go over diagnosing a few MacBooks. Let me grab those. So the first one on the list is going to be, let's see, these are all approved. This one right here, which is an A1502 with a tiny bit, emphasis on tiny bit, coffee spill. So let's go ahead and grab a screw holder for this one. Where's this one will work. Get these bottom case screws out and let's see what's wrong with this one. So Joshua's here. Ernest is here. Safi microsoldering is here. The Crazy G is here, and Edge is here. I don't honestly think this thing is going to affect the business that much. I mean, it's been fine. So I've had more walk-in than usual, honestly. So yeah, I'm totally fine with it. Ed is here. Remember to de-corona your MacBook before touching it. Okay, the first thing I see is corrosion on the battery. So, battery for one needs to be replaced. Let's take out the board. Actually, let's plug this in. So yeah, look at this. Some really nice corrosion on your battery right there. See that? That is not a happy battery. That is not a happy MacBook. So let's go ahead and let's plug it in, see what it does. We got some near their CPU. That's not good. So, tiny bit of coffee. Remember, IT is very important right now. Yes, it is. I agree. Alright, so plug it in. We get a green light in the charger. We get no fan spin. I hear coil pulsing, which tells me it might be power cycling. Let's unplug the battery. Let's unplug the trackpad. Let's unplug the keyboard. So unplug everything that's non-essential to turn on. Repair stores, pay close attention to this because I can't tell you how many times I get a board that is actually fine, but is sent to me for board repair. Unplug the keyboard, the trackpad, the left I/O board. Unplug everything but the DC in jack and see if it turns on. If it turns on, start plugging stuff back in and find what doesn't, what causes it not to turn on, and then you can fix your problem without me, without having to send your device out and having to spend more money here. So, very important. So anything that is not like critical to power except the screen, go ahead and unplug. For example, the left I/O board has PP5VSO going to it, so, or 5VS3, I have no idea. But the point is, if there's a short in the left I/O board, it's also going to short a main power rail to the board, so unplug it. That's every time what I do. Yes, agreed. So everything unplugged. That's not good. But see, it turns on. See that? It turns on. So it actually turns on, but it beeps. Tim needs update. So, could be something on the RAM. I'm suspecting there's going to be corrosion on the other side. Either way, this person's probably not going to be happy with the quote. So, let's see how sticky the keys are. Not too bad. What is it about today? Broken MacBooks. A lot of broken MacBooks. Get all the screws? Nope. There's not much corrosion around the RAM, so I'm suspecting there's going to be a nice surprise on the other side of the board for us. Always is a nice surprise on the other side of the board. Oh wow, our SSD is a little charred. The connector is a little charred. The SSD looks okay. That's not very good. So RAM beep can be caused by the RAM, corrosion under the RAM, cracked ball under the RAM, CPU, cracked ball under the CPU, U7600, U7400, any of those can usually cause RAM beep. Greg is here. How are you doing? And there is no surprises on the other side of the board at all. Let's have a look under the scope. So yeah, this is probably corrosion under the CPU. At a minimum, battery. So battery and board repair. That's going to be fun. Probably going to quote 380 bucks at least. There's battery and board. Check IO board. No, we had the IO board unplugged, so can't be that. We do have some stuff near the CPU. It's quite possible something made it under the RAM, honestly. We just can't see it. Right here. Okay, this is for the CPU right here. This is a sensor circuit. I don't think that could do it, but it may. It may very well do it. So okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give them a quote for board repair and battery replacement at a minimum. So we'll do 380. Caroline is here with a cat in the box. Maybe we will find cat hair in a MacBook that stopped it from working today. That'd be interesting. Okay. Cat hair can cause problems. Anything on the board can cause problems if it collects humidity. Alright, let me find this person's ticket here. Where is this person's ticket? Phone number. And no answer, so I will send an email. email, send email. Okay, next MacBook. We have a pile to get through. So, put that there. Next MacBook just came in a few minutes ago with a liquid spill. So we will open this one and see what's wrong. And that means we may need another screw holder, which... sad. None here. Need to clean this darn store. It's so messy in here. Hello from the UK. Hello from the US. Okay, so they said water spill and does not work anymore. So I see evidence of water spill, but I don't see evidence of why not work anymore. So we are going to go ahead. We're going to pretend that didn't happen for one. Luckily, it was just a bottom case, but I don't know what the heck I did to my computer because the keyboard fell and I mashed the keyboard. Do you have a no fix, no fee system? Absolutely. I do not charge for diagnostic fees. I do not charge for anything like that. Unless you're a repair store and want me to tell you the exact part is wrong, so you can have me have it sent back and you do it yourself. That's a no-no. Okay, so liquid spill. All the LDIs are red. There's corrosion in the JTAG connector. There is corrosion by the LCD connector. The LCD connector is currently corroded. Let's go ahead and pull this board out and have a look at it. Battery connector appears to be in good shape. The trackpad has a little bit of corrosion, so if that's bad, we will replace that for him as well. Hi Richard, how's it going? Corrosion by the microphone. I love how when people say a tiny bit of something, it's always a massive amount of something. So a tiny bit of water means a tiny bit, a tiny bit of water means a gallon of water. A tiny bit of coffee means a whole pot of coffee. Random liquid damage, or when they say it's just a little bit of water damage, probably means somebody threw up on it. That's how you have to reason with things in this industry. Or a little drop of water means it went in their swimming pool, like Caroline said. Or the ocean. I've had ones that went in the ocean. Please don't bring your MacBook to the beach. Keep your MacBook away from the ocean. It does not want to go in the water with you. MacBook does not belong on the beach whatsoever. Probably a bit of self-denial and embarrassment. Yeah, or what they're trying to do, this is actually more likely, is they're trying to avoid, they think that if they tell you it's liquid damage, it's going to be more expensive. So what they do is they try and lie to think that you won't find liquid damage, so it'll be cheaper, because you go into a place like Apple. They're so used to going into like Apple or the Verizon store or something, and them having it to be like shunned away when they say liquid damage. But in reality, I'm going to charge you the same amount if it's board repair or not, if it's liquid damaged or not, you know. So there's no reason to lie. It's even worse when they get mad at you when you call them and they get all defensive. I never spilled anything on it. This device has never gotten wet. I don't know what you're talking about. That's just like, they're mad because you found out their secret. For some reason, it shouldn't be a secret. You know, I don't know. People will be people. And I've had people say I've spilled something on it and there's like no liquid in the device whatsoever. So it goes either way. But most common is I only spilled a little bit of something on it. Or last year, this one store sent me, they said, oh, it's water damaged. And I opened it up. It's like, yeah, what kind of water is this? Because this doesn't look like water to me. It turns out a dog threw up on it. But yeah. Water is subjective. Because they know darn right that if they said something threw up on it, that I wouldn't work on it. I had somebody else call a little bit ago that said their kid threw up on it, and I said, yeah, sorry, that's a biohazard. And they were all like sad, and well, why is it a biohazard? Why is that? Because I don't want to catch norovirus from a MacBook that's been puked on. And I don't want to touch something that's been puked on, sorry. Go to competitor. Okay, so TBT circuit. Let's go over the board under the microscope. Trackpad cable looks okay. So probably trackpad, maybe battery. Let's see, how's the battery board look? Looks okay. Piernov is here. How's it going, Piernov? Hope you're well. And free from coronavirus. Okay, under the microscope, video capture 2 on, and it works. So we have our typical 4924 appearance with little bits of dust everywhere. Corrosion on the Thunderbolt circuit, corrosion on the microphone circuit, corrosion on the audio circuit. That could cause a problem. By the LCD, the typical issue there, common. JTAG has a little bit of corrosion. That's probably why it's not turning on. A little bit by the CPU MOSFETs. Oh, that's not good. All right, let's check for short on PP bus to our CPU. So we have our meter on, set to continuity mode. We're going to check for a short to ground on PP bus G3 hot. And I think my brain just totally broke, because where is PP bus on this board? Okay, right here. And we have no short to vCore. So what I'm doing, these FETs right here are PP bus HS, iSense, whatever. And I am checking for short there, and there is no short, so we are good. So I'm going to call this guy. I'm going to quote him for logic board repair with 325, and I'm going to let him know we'll take care of his trackpad too, at no additional charge for the repair. I'm starting to do that. If it's just like a trackpad or something, I'll just throw it in if they're getting a board repair, because it's honestly not worth losing out on the repair for that. And the trackpad is cheap. Like, what's this trackpad? I think we even have a bunch of these. Let's see. I better look the part up to make sure, so I don't get into a situation that I've said stuff like that before, and then it ends up being like a really expensive part that I didn't realize. Yeah, $30. You're good there. All right, let me call this guy. Right here. Yes, hi, this is Tim with T-Series Circuit. Someone just dropped off a MacBook about an hour ago, not even an hour ago, 30 minutes ago, and we just have an update of what's wrong with it. And a quote. Okay, no problem. Yes, hi. This is Tim with T-Series Circuit. So I've had a chance to look at it. It will need logic board repair. It looks like logic board repair and a trackpad. So I'm going to cover the trackpad under the 325 code as well. So we'll give you a logic board repair and trackpad for that rate. The board doesn't look too bad, but it does have a few important areas that do have a bit of corrosion on it that would definitely cause it not to turn on. So typically this would take about 5 to 7 days. Is that okay? Yes, correct. All right, no problem. Bye. Okay, let's make this board work again. Oh, did I forget to mute? Oh well. Yeah. Okay, not a big deal. Shoot, it's 1 o'clock already? What the heck? Okay, so let's plug this in. Let's see what rails come up, what rails don't come up. So maybe it'll turn on, maybe it won't. We're going to see. Let's plug it in. We get a green light on the charger. We get CPU. Let's see, do we get CPU V-Core? We get 0 volts on CPU. We get 1.8 volts on CPU V-Core. So this board is actually turning on. Okay, so what I'm going to check now, I'm going to put this back in the enclosure and I'm going to see if this is actually no backlight. Because if you notice right here, we have corrosion on our backlight pins, and this is very sensitive to anything like this. This LCD connector will die if that happens. Well, it won't die, but it'll make the LCD not work. We have some corrosion there too. So let's plug this in and let's see what this does. Hopefully this is not a no post issue. It's also very possible that the trackpad is preventing from turning on. Someone tried to check in a A1708 with throw up on it. Yeah, don't accept that, Anthony, please. That would not be good, especially now. Alright, let's plug this in. There's a place in no, please don't. Anthony, you're gonna ask for it. I could refer some pretty bad people from around here to you. I think I may start doing that. Everyone in chat, do you do graphics repair? 2011, no. We don't replace GPUs, period. Anthony, you better watch out or you're going to have some really nice referrals your way. Yes, no GPU chip change. Because most of the time it's not actually the GPU chip. People just think it's a GPU chip because they see nothing on their screen. Gmux Flash, no, we don't do those simply because I get maybe 1 or 2 of those a year. So I could just run the wires when I do get them. Okay, so we just plugged it in. And is this thing not posting? Did I just quote on something that's not posting? No, okay, so it's no backlight. I see the Apple logo through here. It's hard to see on camera, but we do have an Apple logo here. So this is actually working, but it's no backlight. So hopefully this isn't a freaking screen. All right, this ain't good. Backlight. Okay, so hopefully it's just the LCD connector, not the screen. That would be our best bet. So Stuff like this always happens. It's like always, yeah, whatever. Screens in these are gone up substantially. Okay. Yeah, I try and stay away from GPU replacements on stuff because they die, and I'd rather not accept it than have it die and have the customer come back in a month when it dies again, because Apple and AMD GPU does not mix. Alright, so this is likely the cause of the no backlight, but then again it doesn't look overly bad, so I have my doubts. So I'm going to go ahead and change that LCD connector. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I won't know until it's off. But it's not, it's kind of looking like the screen. I hope it's not the screen. Might just get away with a cable replacement too. Okay. Do you have assets in the stock market? No, I do not have assets in the stock market. Now let's see if we have a short on. Tim recommends. No, I do not. I'm actually. Oh shoot! I was gonna email this guy today. I just got an email. Hang on. It does get kind of hard juggling tickets constantly and keeping up with everything. So if I haven't got back to you, I am sorry. On top of that, it's been a fairly hard week for something I don't really want to talk about. Hello, Rescue My Tech. How are you? Alright, so I want to check for a short on backlight output. It's hard to say. That may cause an issue right there. I really doubt it. So let's check for a short on backlight output. Usually the backlight output caps don't short unless there's unless it's dropped. So we don't see a lot of issues with with shorts on backlight output unless the device is dropped. Then we get issues. Do you own and make use of an oscilloscope with board I have an oscilloscope. I rarely use it. I will tell you that. It is handy for some things. I maybe use it once every 4 months. So, I mean, if you have $300 to throw away, get it. But if you don't, just it's not really going to help you too much, so don't even bother. So, that's my recommendation. Hi, Joe. How's it going? Alright, LCD connectors are, where are they? Here. Hi Sonia, how's it going? Yeah, thermal camera is helpful. So I do highly recommend everybody get a thermal camera. The FLIR DM166 multimeter is very, very useful, as it has a multimeter and thermal imager built in, and that is my... Where do you get the PEG LV? It's two different types. So there's one type that's the older one, and then there's the new type. I get these from Lewis, so store.rossmangroup.com is where I get these. I don't know why I'm shaking so much, but it's because I think I didn't eat today. So that would definitely cause shaking. You know those days where you wake up and you turn off your alarm and think, I'm just gonna rest my eyes for like 2 more minutes, and then you wake up and it's 2 hours later? That was me this morning, so I did not have time to eat. Fun times. That soldering is very please bro-ish. Got to fix the please bro soldering. Okay, now let's go ahead and check this thing and see if it works properly now with the LCD plugged in. So hopefully it will. I also am going to check for a short with the LCD plugged in, as that's also common. Is your LCD will be shorted. A lot of people will get trolled. They'll think they have a short on LCD backlight. They'll unplug the screen, inject voltage, nothing gets hot, and they plug the screen back in, and there's still a short because the short is actually in the LCD cable or in the LED strip itself in the display. I have a few shorted PCHs that are like 3 degrees above the rest of the board, especially in 239 boards. Yeah, 239, PCH, anything Intel Skylake or newer is pretty bad. So yeah, stay away from these. Stay away from Skylake and Intel newer stuff. I know there's a lot of Intel fans that'll argue with me on that, but you know what? I've seen so many dead Skylake and newer CPUs. I just would never buy a laptop with an Intel CPU in it. Even a ThinkPad. Well, maybe a ThinkPad. I'm waiting for the ThinkPad T14 to come up. That'll have an AMD Ryzen 4th generation 8 core in it, and I'm really excited to buy one of those when it comes out. Should come out very soon, Q2. You give us backlight, and we give backlight now. Look at that. Backlight. So I am happy this is fixed. Let's take care of the rest of this stuff. Get this board ultrasonic. Get this guy's trackpad replaced or cleaned. And we will get this back to him. With reliability started going down with Haswell. Yeah, Haswell, Piranov, I don't know if you agree with me about this, but what I noticed with Haswell is the ultra low voltage parts would fail a lot. but not the socketed, the Haswell socketed mobile, so the i7-47, the i7 MQ series, but all the ultra low voltage or parts with the Iris Pro graphics, so the HQ series or whatever, would fail constantly. But the socketed type wouldn't fail. Ivy Bridge and Sandy still alive today, yeah. Those are my two favorite architectures, I think. And this shirt is like huge. I lost like 15 pounds in the last 2 weeks. That's probably not too healthy, but is what it is. So, little JTAG connector. You do not belong here. You need to get off our board. Bad JTAG. That is right, Joshua. I don't tend to replace MOSFETs unless they're sent to russmangroup.com. Yeah, the PCH does fail on Haswell too. It's both PCH and Piernov. Curious if you've seen any failures with the Ryzen powered laptops. So we're just gonna give this some good flux and heat. It's kind of pointless to replace this MOSFET like this unless the pins are burned. This guy will get out of here. I don't want anybody complaining that they can't do this because they don't have steady hands. You can see this. Haven't seen a Ryzen laptop yet and I haven't heard of failure. Yeah, they're pretty new. I've had 2 Ryzen CPUs running in desktops for going on a year now. Both are under 24/7 operation, and I haven't had any issues with the boards or PCHs or anything yet. But that's only 2. That sample size is nothing compared to what's needed. Not sure if AMD suppressed Intel in terms of reliability. They were pretty bad until 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah, I agree. The old AMD chips. What was that one architecture they almost got sued over, or they did get sued over? It was like the 32 nanometer before they switched to the fake quad core design. I had one of those actually. I think FedEx is here. I forget what it was. It's like Lalano or something. I don't know. All I know is they were really lousy before Bulldozer speed. I mean, they were terrible. Then Bulldozer wasn't much better. I mean, that was kind of a fail. There was one CPU I had that was actually... FedEx is here. Hang on. Hey, can you just put it by the door right there? Thank you very much. Herman, Herrman. More laptops. Let me go out and grab that real quick. Busy as heck. I don't know why. I mean, I don't think it's ever been as busy as it's been in the past few weeks in the history of my business. Might have been pile driver. I don't know. All I know, it was the quad cores in like 2011 that would like not even beat a Core 2 Duo. And they had the strong integrated graphics. We'll give them that. They were mostly integrated graphics, but they were pretty slow. I had a hang on. Ah, just lost that cap. I had it was an Athlon quad core. I think it was a 860 or 870K. I don't know. But I got that thing up to like 4.7 gigahertz. And it didn't die. And I ran it until last year. I had that thing. I'm so surprised it didn't actually die. Okay, so there's actually... Alright, I need another 4924. I grabbed the wrong board. I had the thing to 4.7 gigahertz and it wouldn't die. The MOSFETs on the board were blazing hot. And I just ran that thing because I wanted a new one. And I was hoping it would die. And it never died. That was an okay CPU. That was like comparing to an i5 or an i3. Alright, where'd this cap go? It just ran off. You know what, screw it. It doesn't need that cap. Alright, Sonia, I will see you later. Yeah, you know what, this cap... What is it? Let's see what it is first, then I'll decide if we need it or not. It is a... I'm becoming really more lenient on the caps I put back on. Because like the board before didn't even have one. PP bus, what is this? It's a 12PF. I'm not putting a 12PF back on. Yeah, oh well. Does almost nothing. Just get it off. It was corroded. This audio IC, it's gotta go. Doesn't have to go, just needs a reflow. Okay, sorry about that. I don't want to reball this thing because I don't think I have a stencil for this. Actually, I may, but I still don't want to deal with this. I replaced a bunch of these on a board before, and I don't remember how I did it. I used some stencil, but I don't remember which one. But with any luck, this will be perfectly fine with just a little reflow. Hi, Catherine. How's it going? It's nice to see everyone wearing masks here. There's some people, like the next door neighbors that are call center, they don't wear masks, and it's kind of annoying. But most of the rest of people are wearing masks, which is very good. That people are taking it seriously. The neighbors I don't really like next to my store. I mean, they're kind of... There's a few people there that will like stare at me and just... It's pretty funny, actually. But it's good that people are wearing masks. We were down from like 300 or from 600 cases a day in LA County to 300 yesterday. So that's very, very good. But my worry is what's going to happen is they're going to lift the restrictions, or not even lift the restrictions. People are going to think it's improving, and then they're going to start going to the store with no mask and doing all kinds of stuff again, and then it's going to flare back up. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Hopefully things will stay the same with the restrictions for some time so it gets a chance to die down, but we'll see. It's required to wear masks in Miami and yeah, it's the same here. LA County is requiring masks for everyone. Every time I go in public or deal with customers or anything, I always wear a mask. Even if it's just to pick up the laptop, they drop outside. Gonna need instant testing for virus. Here in Rio de Janeiro, we're not allowed to work at all. Yeah, technically I'm not allowed to work either. But I'm considered technically essential because I fix medical equipment. And we're going to be repairing a GE Healthcare Bit 3 board for an MRI system. So what this board does is it transmits fiber optic stuff from the system cabinet to what was I going to say? System cabinet to the workstation computer, all kinds of scan information, patient information, everything. It's just a little PCI card, but it's expensive, so we can fix it. I have a known good, and I have another one that's bad, so we're going to try and figure out what's wrong with it. I couldn't be closed for a month. I would still come to work even if they told me I couldn't. I would come in, lock the door, turn off the lights, and work. I'd go crazy. Can't protect the unexposed without crashing the economy. Must increase exposure to keep things running until drugs or vaccine puts an end to it. Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, I don't know. It's a part of life. People will die. Things will die. It's a sad part of life, but what can you do? Eventually, everyone will get exposed. Can't put the CT back in the bag. Oh, cat back in the bag, unfortunately. Yeah, it's true. I mean, we're probably all going to get the virus, but in California, they think a lot of people actually already had it in November, which is interesting, because that may possibly mean I got it too. Because around November, I was sick with something. It was a very mild form of something that other people got, and it wasn't such a mild form of something. So, it's interesting. If they start doing the antibody tests in my area, I'm going to go get tested, but I could have just had a cold. Which is actually much more likely. What is cedar fever, Chuck? I gotta look that up. What is cedar fever? Allergies. I guess the one major factor is if you have a runny nose, it probably was not coronavirus. I had this thing. It only lasted a day, pretty much a day, maybe 2 days, but it was around November, and I just felt incredible. I had a fever. It was about 100-degree fever. I had a bad headache, body aches, no other symptoms, just headache, fever, extreme weakness, and body aches for like a day and a half. And then it was gone. But that's interesting. So that's what I was thinking. Maybe that might have been something. I don't know. Because it's so widely varied on how people experience this. Some people are asymptomatic. Some people only have a fever, no cough. Some people have shortness of breath and no cough. Some people have... It's just so widely varied of how it presents. And I heard somebody else said they only had it for a couple days. So it's interesting. With that being said, like as far as I've been giving a notice to some people about device disinfection and stuff. With that being said, I've always disinfected devices before they leave. I mean, I didn't disinfect them when they came in, but before they leave, they were always disinfected. So that's nothing new for me. But I've always have been spraying my shop with disinfectants. That's been nothing new. No, I did not, Wex. Mandatory vaccination recipients chip. No, you're not putting a microchip in me. Screw you. No way. I'll carry an immunity card or whatever, but you're not putting a microchip in me. Screw you. Microchipping is too creepy. I mean, you could microchip me, but I'm going to go home and I'm going to take it out myself. Yeah, chipping animals is fine, but I don't know, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I don't want anything government regulated being microchipped into me. No thanks. Don't they already have a 5-minute rapid test? I think the FDA just approved a 5-minute test for COVID-19. Ah, I lost that cap again. Darn it. Alright, these tweezers gotta go. Here, let's watch Tim fail to solder a simple capacitor for 10 minutes. Notice how the retail ones still open are reconfiguring for testing stations at entrances. Like me, I'm not testing. I'm not sticking a swab up anybody's nose. Sorry, but I'm not doing that. I will fix this in a second because that does not look good. Greg, I have a question. Would you be interested in being a moderator for a MacBook Logic board repair group on Facebook if you have a Facebook account? I'm looking for a few new moderators on this group. It's a group that I created but recently had a major rift with the admins and moderators. That has caused me to pretty much remove everybody and find a few new people. Okay, so we're done here with this board. We can go ahead and ultrasonic this. Be done with it. Alright, I'm going to take the heatsink off and I will be right back. I want to eat because I'm hungry, but unfortunately that has to wait. There's no time for eating right now. There's only time for MacBook. Okay, just so everybody knows, the audio is going to go a little bit lower because the ultrasonic is going on. No worries, Greg. I understand it completely. Clean this off a little bit. Where's my alcohol? Isn't New York City like over 1% of the population in New York City is infected or not? Something like that. Still, that's crazy when you think about it. That 1% of New York City has a deadly virus. Okay, next MacBook. What's wrong with this one? No way. It's a no backlight. Do I really get a no backlight today? That would really make my day. Oh shoot, whose SSD is this? It's this one. We have a few broken screws. It's not good. Someone opened this. I think they used the wrong screws. Hi, how can I help you? That is a scam. Rats are suffering in New York from lack of food. Oh, big deal. Who cares? Sounds like it's solving a problem. Alright, the wrong screws here. This device has an overall feel that it's been messed with very severely by somebody. Yep, I am right. The Wi-Fi cable is wrong. So my guess is that some other repair shop is here and we're going to find a big mess. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the bottom cover off. And we're out of slots here. Shoot. Let's set this here for now. Keys over here. Itch. Trying not to use my fingers to itch. Like if I have an itch on my face, I use my palm. It works. Just annoying. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, since I said a backlight issue, I want to... Okay, LCD connector's fine. Let's check and see what the voltage is on backlight output, because that's going to be telling what our issue is. .5 volts. Let's unplug the I/O board. Same thing. So we are going to pull this board out. Getting calls about how someone can help me with my college loans. It's different numbers. Yeah, I get the same thing. Mine, it's healthcare, this or that. Every single day. So very dusty machines, like I said. You will see corrosion in these. It's mainly just from the dust over time collecting moisture, which happens, and then you get stuff that fails. Okay, there's screws that are half in and stuff. This does not look good. Somebody else was here, and I think somebody else hurt this MacBook very badly. We will see. We will see how injured this is. Long screw damaged the fan. Somebody was very, very not nice to this at all. If it was an end user, that's fine. If it's a shop, it's unacceptable. Nope, no board repairs done, and luckily I already see the issue. So, as I've said many, many times in the past, dust will cause corrosion on boards. Dust out your machine. Open the bottom, get a P5 screwdriver, remember where the screws go, and dust out the machine, because if you don't, what happens is you get this thin layer of dust like this, right? See, we have a corroded probe point, we have a little corrosion there, and then we have this. The reason why this happens is the dust gets a little bit of condensation, and then we get this. We get corrosion. So we're going to go ahead and take care of this. I'm going to go switch sides of this board in the ultrasonic. My quick hose keeps getting caught on the microscope. It's quite annoying. Very annoying indeed. What kind of flux are you using? This is Amtech NC560. What would it take to get you back into a busy restaurant for lunch or dinner? Nothing right now, because I am not going to any restaurants. What would it take? Most likely, a vaccine. Or if the infection rates were so low, then it wouldn't even be a concern. But probably a vaccine. Or if the disease was almost completely eradicated by means of mitigation, which probably won't happen. So what I'm seeing, look at this. So see the pads of those resistors? It's probably really hard to see, but see that little bit of like red under there? Those are most likely going to be corroded underneath. So we're going to go ahead and replace those resistors. And put a new driver on. LP8550, where are you? I should really do my shipping for the day so I can get out of here, because I'm really hungry. But I'd like to get a few repairs done before I do so. Wex, I fix MacBooks and don't even leave my office half the time. So I think that answer is self-explanatory. Richard, I don't think the social distancing guidelines mean anything because 6 feet does not really do much, honestly. Six feet is mainly only for respiratory droplets emitted by breath and not by coughs and sneezes, so I don't really think that's going to do much. That was my keyboard that just fell. Of course. One second here. Let me look up a part for someone. The problem with alcohol misters is that isopropanol fumes or even ethanol fumes are going to build up and rise to the top of the ceiling, and that's going to start making people sick. Like, have you ever been in a room that's been heavily covered in isopropanol fumes? It's not very nice, so that wouldn't work well. I mean, I get the idea, but it just won't work well. We're going to give this a minute. And I just saw that Apple logo light up. Look at that. Fixed. Another fixed MacBook. Let's see, do you boot fully? I'm hungry. I want food. So you see this is working and fixed. Yeah, isopropanol fumes in a restaurant, okay, and the fumes build up. Yeah, that's going to cause a big explosion. Just like when I tell repair shops, stop putting isopropyl alcohol in your ultrasonic cleaners because you're going to cause a frickin' explosion. Because it's a vibrating device that gets hot, that's going to cause vapors. All you need is a little spark and your whole shop is going to explode. Don't do that. Do not put isopropanol in an ultrasonic cleaner, in a heated ultrasonic cleaner, unless you want a fire and an explosion and possibly getting killed. I'm not gonna, if somebody said, like, I've had people that argue with me about that, say, oh no, it's fine, I've been doing it for so many years. If that thing explodes in your shop, I'm gonna laugh. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna find that very funny if you do something like that and cause a big fire, because I've told you, don't do that. Just because you've been doing it for 10 years doesn't mean it's okay. It doesn't mean one day you're not going to get unlucky and have something go on fire. Okay, this MacBook smells of Lysol, which tells me that they spilled Lysol in their computer. I know we gotta disinfect stuff, but come on, guys, chill it. Tone it down a bit. Like, don't just go pouring Lysol into your computer. I use alcohol in a manual toothbrush. Is that dangerous? No, alcohol in a manual toothbrush is perfectly fine. But when you get an ultrasonic cleaner that's heated and that's vibrating, it's not safe. But no, alcohol in toothbrush is perfectly fine. Alcohol in hot air is fine. But the problem is when it starts to evaporate and build up under that lid, if the tank is vibrating and creates a little spark, it's going to go in big explosion. Bet you it was puke or something. You're absolutely right. This probably is puke. Ugh. Can I use antifreeze in my humidifier? Yeah, sure, Joe. Perfect idea. Perfect idea. A plus. You can use antifreeze in your humidifier. You can use antifreeze in your drink. You can use antifreeze in your food. Whatever you wish. I thought there's no virus problems with OS X. Yeah, there isn't. Has some perfumey stuff. I don't know what you mean, Richard. I'm not sure what that means. No, the antifreeze side of it is. I'm sorry to hear, Rescue My Tech. It sounds terrible. What? Okay, they're starting to underfill the VRAM chips on these. This is an 820, I bet a 426. Yep, 00426. And they're actually underfilling the VRAM chips. That's a new one. That's a new one. Okay. Show us, please. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, show us, please. I will. I'm getting it under the microscope. So here's the underfilled VRAM chips. Yeah. Okay, so we have corrosion by the Hall effect sensor. Probably can get away with reflowing that. We have corrosion up here. I think that's the 3V42 circuit. JTAG connector, all that. Let's see what this does. No, these are not the flex loose. You mean the touchpad cable issue? No, that's actually yes, on some of these it is. Some I've seen it, but that's mainly the 4924 series. Okay, so we have no light on the charger and we have no fan spin. Now, I believe this is our 3V42 circuit over here. Not for sure. I'm gonna open a board view for this. 1 second. Hi, how can I help you? Yes, I sent you an email as well. So you have a couple issues going on. Number one is the battery. There's actually quite a bit of corrosion on the battery itself, so probably quite a bit of liquid got into it. Unplugged everything from the system board that may cause it not to turn on. It actually did turn on, but it beeped 3 times, which tells us there's an issue with either the CPU or RAM. There's a fairly good, well, not a fairly good, but there's a chance that that issue is just caused by a little bit of liquid that got under your CPU or RAM, and that would be fixed by ultrasonic cleaning, which would be $75. But either way, it's going to need a new battery. So the battery would be 179, so 179 plus 75. If the ultrasonic cleaning does not fix the logic board and we have to do rework to the logic board, you'd be looking at 380 for everything. That's 380 for both the board repair and the battery replacement. Yeah, the cleaning is first and foremost. What I recommend we do is start on the logic board repair before the battery, because sometimes if the board is beeping, it can be an issue where the motherboard is unrepairable and we'll have to end up replacing the motherboard, which can get fairly expensive. But we're definitely going to try the cleaning first. There was a little bit of coffee that got near your CPU, which if anything's under there, that can definitely cause the issue. If it's under the RAM, there's a chance that, like I said, the cleaning may work. But if we do have to do rework on the board, then that would be more, and that would be under the 380 price. Sure. Like as far as if we don't think it's repairable, or correct, yeah, because if the motherboard ends up not being repairable, there's no sense in putting a new battery in it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. Yeah, that's perfectly reasonable. So we can go ahead and do is ultrasonically clean the board, and if that doesn't work, it would just be $25 for return shipping. Okay. Okay, sounds good. I will let you know. All right, no problem. Bye. Okay, so I don't think this board, we have a schematic for this board, so we are going to use a, I think an 82000 163 will be close. Then after this board, I will go ahead and do my shipping, and then I'm going to go home and eat, and then I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to fix more MacBooks. Alright, so this area that is corroded, where is this? Is the PP3V42 G3 hot circuit. So we have no light on the charger, which means if we have no light on the charger, that means PP3V42 may not be present. We're going to check that, but in order to get a green light in the charger, we need voltage to our SMC, and we will not have voltage to our SMC if we have PP3V42 G3 hot missing. So 3V42 is going to show up right here. And that is actually 3.4 volts. With how bad that looks, that is very surprising. Next thing I want to check is going to be PP bus voltage, since we have no green light. SMC looks okay, but what is our PP bus voltage? Where is our fuse? That's over here. So here's our two MOSFETs for PP bus right here. And notice this looks burned, so this tells me this is probably toast. See those solder balls popping out? That tells me that MOSFET got very, very hot. So where's our fuses? They're somewhere here. Okay, schematic time. Okay, sorry about that. My brain is... I probably should have eaten this morning, and I did not eat this morning. Hence why I'm hungry. Where is PP bus? I know you're here. Where is PP bus? Okay, let me take this board out of the ultrasonic, and then I will come back to this. Wait, I have to flip the board, because we already did one side. Not eating is bad. I always keep breakfast cereals. Yeah, I know. I forget to keep any of that there. I usually just wait until I'm almost fainting, and then I go get work. I go get food. That's probably not a very healthy habit. All right, here's our PP bus fuses. This is what I was looking for. It's probably not healthy. Okay, PP bus is 12.7 volts, 12.127 volts, which means our SMC is not running. So surprisingly, those work, but we're going to replace those. So why would our SMC not be running? I wonder what our little friend JTAG has to think about that. You know how the JTAG connector has SMC reset L that's probably going to be shorted to BIOS and SPI termination communication lines? I wonder if you have anything to do with this. Because last time I checked, we didn't like JTAG connectors here because they cause issues. And sure enough, if we look at our board view, and the exact pins that are corroded, so make a mental note of those pins that are corroded. Make a mental note of that. Let's flip the board over on the board view so it's in the right direction. Rotate clockwise. Okay, so make a mental note of that, right? Mental note. Ready for it. Ground. SMC TCK, SMC TMS. I wonder if that has anything to do with our SMC not running. What do you guys think? Is the JTAG connector going to be Another issue? Did I really just get another easy board repair? Did I really just get another easy board repair? We'll be replacing the other stuff too, but let's see if this works. I love JTAG connectors. You could be cutting diamonds now. If that means you think I'm rich, then that is certainly not the case. I wish I was rich. I probably wouldn't look like a bum if I wasn't rich. If I was rich. Okay, plugged it in. No green light still. Yeah, my shakes come and go. It's weird. I don't know what causes it. I don't know if it's hunger or something else. I fixed a laptop for a doctor. I did a screen replacement, then I didn't plug in the battery all the way or something, and it popped out. And I went to go do it in the parking lot, and he commented on the shakes, and he says, "Is it always like that?" And I said, "Yeah, happens." But other than that, I pretty much ignore it because it doesn't really concern me. Okay, so still 12.26 volts. I wonder if this has anything to do with it. Yeah, the feet might have been damaged on it. Alright, what is this cap? SMC lid. That's not going to cause that. So we're going to note that, but it's irrelevant. I want to check SMC reset voltage. SMC reset is going to show up on R5100 over here. This area looks totally clean, so I'm not suspecting an issue with the SMC, honestly. Might be an issue with the ISL. But let's just check what SMC reset voltage is, because if SMC reset voltage is 0, then we know we have an issue here. So it's plugged in. SMC reset voltage is 3.4 volts. Okay, that's interesting, because our SMC is not running. We have no light on the charger. We have 12.26 volts on PP bus. So my guess is our ISL may be damaged. Looks totally clean, but let's check. So I want to check for a short on two things. So pins 10 and 11. These are SMC or SM bus data lines. These are going to go to D7050, which could very well be the issue. D7050 is going to show up. Where is it? Right here. So I want to check for a short on both these legs. So if there's a short, that tells me either the SMC, the diode, or the ISL is shorted, and neither of those is shorted. So this gets more challenging. Just for the heck of it, let's just reflow this thing. So you know what? Let's remove this thing. You take this board out of the cleaner. What was this one resistor for? SMC lid, yeah. Okay, let's try it now with that. I don't think that would do it, but you never know. If there's any issues with the SMC, you never know. The fact that it's in 3.4 volts more so justifies an issue with the SMC more than anything. Still nothing. Okay. Tim never gets no equipment. Yes, because I don't need new equipment. Have you gotten any new equipment lately? No, I have not. I am cheap. What I have does the job fairly well. Okay, is it possible that maybe... Alright, let's just take care of what we see. This is I always recommend people to do. Before going crazy with thinking, take care of what you see. So we know this needs new MOSFETs. We know this needs a new 3V42 circuit. So we're just going to take care of what we see here, and then we're going to come back and revisit the issue with the SMC, because we may get a working board. You never know. Maybe 3V42 isn't totally stable all the time, and the SMC is crashing as soon as it turns on. That may be the cause of the issue. We never know. So we're going to take care of what we see first, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, I bought a new multimeter. I got a new multimeter. I got why new MOSFETs? Because you saw how one of them had solder balls popping out the side. It got very hot at one time, so that's got to go. And they're all corroded too. $10. Thank you very much. I think that's Dominic that donated that. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Alright, I need a little bit more alcohol. Alcohol, where's alcohol? Here it is. Tomorrow, after I get all these done, we're going to do some work on MRI stuff. Much headache. This area looks dirty, so we're going to clean it a bit. This is for GPU stuff. Again, I care about my GPU, but I don't really care about my GPU right now. Where's the SMC? The SMC is over here. Could junk have made it under there? How does it look? No, it looks spotless. It's not that. I may give the SMC a little reflow, but I really doubt it's that. Were these sips of alcohol? No. Are you worried about coronavirus on those boards? Not on the boards, on the computers, yes. But the chances of an aerosolized virus particle being sucked into the fan and going onto the board, in my opinion, is low. So I'm not too concerned about those. No, I was not drinking alcohol. I was filling a little container with alcohol. I'm not a drunk, guys. Yeah, I think the chances of coronavirus getting inside is slim. Without a doubt, I've been exposed to the virus by now. I mean, not like exposed, but I'm sure it's been on a MacBook or something. It's got to have been by now. If I drink isopropanol, yeah, that would not be good. Isopropanol will, isopropanol, generally when you drink isopropanol, causes something called death. So I don't really advise drinking that. Death is usually not good. The 3v42 circuit's different. That sucks. On this board. It's okay, a lot of it is the same. Let's see, what about the 4924 series? Oh. I'm sure these caps are close enough. Okay, I wonder how many MacBooks I can fix before I pass out from not eating. Because I'm probably getting close to that. We shall see. Please, nobody... I know when I say that, people order food sometimes, but don't, because I have to go anyway, so I'll probably miss it. But thank you anyway if you do. Let's see. Okay, board. 3v42 regulator. Yeah. And the coil I need. One is too big. Oh, fell. Alright, I think I'm going to try and find a 138. I know I have a 00138, bunch of 00138s. Ow, just burned myself. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me go find a 00138 board, because I think that one might be closer than this. Just have to find where they're at. One 38 might be a little bit closer. It's still vastly different, but it might be a little bit closer. Is it okay to wear a mask into a bank right now? Yes, it's required here. I don't want to look bad and go in there asking for 10 grand. Yeah. Don't rob a bank. That is not acceptable behavior right now. Okay, so we have no schematic, we have no Apple. Why did you change this circuit? Oh wait, I do have a schematic. This one is the same. Okay. What are these? Need to find this value of these 3 caps. $4.7. Okay. And that's it. Let's wait, no, we need 2 caps. So I'm going to check on a 4924 to get the 3 caps. Or was it 3 or 2 in here? Chat, I don't want to check. Do you guys remember, was it 3 or 2 caps here? I will rewind. There's only 2. Alright, there's that. Let me put some new MOSFETs on this. MOSFETs go here. Should probably have on my fume extractor, but I don't. Grab some MOSFETs. Where are these guys? ST, what are they? They're, forget the one I use. I know the part number if I'll see it, but I should probably shut up because I'm not making sense. But I have a specific type of MOSFETs I use, and I don't remember the name of them, but if I see them, I will, if I see the part number on my parts bin, I'll recognize them. And so far I don't see them. It's like STL 105 something or other. STL 105N. Had a whole reel of those too, like 50 of them. Where the heck did those go? Now it's just going to bother me for the sheer wondering of where they went. Because there was more than enough here. Guess not. I wonder where those even went. I don't even know. I'll just take it off the donor, but still. Had so many of those, and they're not even made anymore. Don't forget the chip with the legs. What do you mean chip with the legs? Oh, the Hall effect. Yes, I won't. I'm running out of energy rapidly, though. Oh. I tried putting that on the wrong way and that did not work. Now we replaced the FETs, we gotta replace the ISL now, because I never trust the ISLs with FETs that might have been damaged. Then we can test it. And then we'll work on replacing our Hall effect sensor after we know the board works or if the board doesn't work. I said something as BIOS on it? I don't remember that. But I'm also very hungry, so. You showed us the diagram in the Paul Daniel software. Oh, that was just the JTAG connector. Yeah, that doesn't need to go back on. That's just the JTAG. Yeah, that can safely stay off. Okay, now let's see if we get a green light or a fan spin. We probably won't, I will say that. Yep, as I said, we probably won't, and I'm correct. Oh boy, I screwed up. PP bus is now only less than a volt. You shut up, Richard. You're probably right. Now you shut up. Okay, PP bus may be shorted. No short on PP bus. Maybe it's too hot. Yeah, the board is too hot. I probably might have cooked the new ISL. $307. You know what? Okay, if this doesn't work after the board is cooled, I have to get going because I have to get stuff to FedEx by 4. I'm working for Enel during the shutdown. It can stay off. Why is it on there in the first place? Ask Apple. It's mainly for programming things. Hi, how can I help you? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Okay, that would be a cracked screen. It would be a damaged LCD. What model is it? Should be on the bottom. It should start with an A. It should be like A1466 or A1398. A1466, cool. Okay. You got lucky. Some of the screens on those are really expensive. Like on the Retina ones, they are extremely expensive. Let me just make sure everything is in stock at our supplier. Yes, they are in stock, so you would be looking at $250, and we could get the screen in 2 to 4 days. Everything, yeah. We do require prepayments for the screens, so if you wanted to go ahead with it, I could take down your info. Anel got brain damage after the truck accident. I agree with you. Anel has something. I forgot to ask this guy what year his device was. I gotta call him back. And we'll continue on this board. Actually, you know what? Let me see if this works. I have to get going anyway, so if this doesn't work after the board cooling down, then I gotta get out of here, unfortunately. Still nothing. What's PP best reading now? $12.26 Yeah, still nothing. Alright guys, I unfortunately have to get out of here to do shipping, so I will see you guys later.